So what Dipit did was made a good quality product with value for money, okay? And that's where the consumers start giving us their share and moving on. Because consumer is very aware about its health, what they're eating, what kind of a quality of the raw material that they're using at home. Because they are giving that food to their kids. Specific about it.
Hello and welcome everyone to another episode of All Things Money. I'm your host Fatima Attarwalla, and with me today is Zeeshan Haider, founder and CEO of local sauce brand Dipitt. Hello Zeeshan, really nice to have you on the show today.
Thank you, pleasure is all mine.
So Dipitt, what's the story behind it? As I've seen it on shelves on almost all the supermarkets, and I understand it's a local brand with an international flavor, but how did it come to be?
Well, it all started from a restaurant which was known by the name of Wingit.
Oh, so the Wings one was yours as well?
Yes. So we started off from there. When I moved back to Pakistan, I participated in an event called Karachi Eat. We put up their stall there. We started selling wings. We opened up a branch at Khaibane-Bukhari. We started selling wings from there. So that's where the story started. We used to make sauces for our own self. Then we started giving it out to friends and their restaurants. And then from their restaurant, we started giving out to retail, and then from there on, so forth.
So Dipitt is mostly ketchup or mayonnaise, or does it have a range?
We don't, we make ketchup and mayonnaise, okay, but we don't classify ourselves as a ketchup and mayonnaise company like a lot of our competition or other companies who are operating in Pakistan do. We call ourselves a sauce brand. We are an innovative brand, and we like to explore food in the best way possible.
How many local brands are there?
There are a couple of them. None of them is our competition directly because they, make ketchup and mayonnaise. The maximum innovation that Pakistan food industry has done has made chili garlic out of it. That was a biggest innovation that they did. But Alhamdulillah, Dipit make 57 flavors other than ketchup and mayonnaise, the innovative ones. So that's where we have stood out on the shelf and given the profile and the same quality and taste which people were either importing or looking for.
I think I got your sweet chili and all that. I think a lot of innovative new food fusion kind of recipes, Rubika Kitchen kind of recipes use sauces, your brand of sauces. But how do you create demand for it? Because in Pakistan, it's ketchup, it's mayo, and then it's chili garlic. So how do you sell Chipotle or Tabasco?
Well, I think the common perception is the same what you're saying, but that's not the true or the right side of how things are. Especially during COVID, people did only one thing at home, was eat and make food, okay? And the social media, the power of social media, the content of social media, and the awareness the social media has given to people about food in itself is immense, you know. I still remember when I introduced this sauce called habanero sauce. People were not able to pronounce the habanero in itself.
I'm not sure I can still pronounce
habanero. But you know, the beautiful thing about food is that you don't need to pronounce it, you need to make it, right? So now we sell habanero maybe in Toba Tek Singh, which is, you know, maybe a rural area for most of the Karachiite or most of the urban city. But again, and the people learn this food and this cuisine and making this all through social media. So consumers are aware of it. This is one part of the whole block. The other part is that Pakistan had these sauces since 1990. Before we won the World Cup, we had these sauces, you know, just like it's go very far. So Pakistan as a country started importing sauces from UAE and from West in 1990. So Nando's came in, Tabasco came in, a lot of other sauces came in. The reason why the volume was very small the manufacturers thought that it's not something that they want to invest on. Now they think otherwise, but that was the thinking at that point of time. So they never invested in terms of the R&D, in terms of developing the infrastructure, in terms of spending on the consumer in itself, you know. And that's why we always ate ketchup and chili garlic while growing up. But now with this thing, the market has been there. It has not been fully explored, or kind of say, you know, people were not given the fair chance to use it, because this was imported, so obviously premium priced. So when a local company makes a good product, the consumer is always over there.
So back in 2022, November 2022, when I last talked to you, the market size was around 50 billion rupees for condiments. Yeah. What would you say the market size is around now?
I think it would be about 50 to 70 billion now, okay, because the prices have gone up quite a bit. In terms of the volume, maybe the growth hasn't been there so much, but because of the value increasing, the pricing increasing, the value has gone up, and the market in itself has changed, you know. For example, I'll give you an example. When I was growing up, my mother used to give me noodles and I used to have it quietly. The maximum I did was put the packet which was inside it on it. Now, if you give noodles to my kids, they would ask you for 3 flavors, sauces, or 3 different sauces, like a hot sauce, the minimum, you know, with it, or maybe some other sauce with it. You know, so the eating habits have changed also over the period. Similarly, the maximum we used to make at home was pasta. Now there's 5 different kind of pasta to make at home. So again, the consumption has changed, the habits have changed. So that's why.
Are we only talking about the urban areas, or is this across?
Urban area, it's higher, and maybe the rural area would be lower. But it's not that it's just in the urban area. It's not true.
Digitization, internet, TikTok, we have all these recipes popping up.
We sell our chipotle to Gilgit till Skardu. So you can imagine how far it goes over there. And on this side, we sell it till Quetta. So these flavors are something that people eat across, because, you know, if somebody has lived their life, or if one of the family member has traveled abroad or has lived abroad, which is very common in KPK, you know, some of the family members have worked abroad and now they're back or whatever. So they know the taste, okay. They might have bought the product in whatever country they were working for, or they might have consumed it in one way or the other. So they know the taste profile. It's not that they are very kind of naive, or they don't know about it. It's not that way.
What is the proportion of imported goods in your composition versus domestic? Like last time I talked to you, it was like 5% were imported goods, but at that time you were working with Sindh farmers to grow localized peppers. So
it's more than 5% for sure, the imported one, and the main item that we were importing at that time was the chilies in itself. So we have worked a lot on them in the last 2-3 years, and Dipit is now, alhamdulillah, a vertically integrated company. So we grow our own chilies, we ferment them over a period of 3 years our own self, and then we make the sauces and sell them under our own brand. So we know the base of the chili till the point of time it's sold in the market. So that gives us more kind of transparency in the product, in tracking the product. Also, it gives us more sustainability in terms of as a manufacturer, because our material is something which is managed by us ourselves, and at the same time it gives us a lot of room to innovate again, based on the chilies and based on our agronomy team and our food tech team. So we do a lot of kind of innovation with this new arm that we have developed.
When we talk about innovation, for innovation to make sense as a price point, as an economically, as from a business point of view, there has to be scale. So in an economy which is not doing very well, has finally stabilized, but still the inflation is there, FMCG goods suffered. So how did Dipit survive that, and what are your long-term views?
Okay. So there are 2 legs to this answer. The first one is that Dipit came in at the very right time, at the right place. So if everything was right for us. So when we came in, the prices of the imported products was going up, the dollar was going up, the duties were going up. So Dipit got a lot of room to come in and give a good quality product. The issue is that a lot of our competition, the quality, what they were giving out there, the quality was very substandard. Till today, a lot of the chili sauces that a lot of people make, even a lot of other soya sauce that a lot of people make, is very substandard. If they are supposed to sell that product, they might not be able to export it to a lot of countries. It's so substandard product. Similarly, so what Dipit did was made a good quality product with the value for money, okay, and that's where the consumers start giving us their share and moving on, because consumer is very aware about its health, about what they're eating, what kind of a quality of the raw material that they're using at home, because they are giving that food to their kids, so they're very specific about it. So Dipit basically banked on the quality of the product that we given. The other thing that helped us was that when a consumer was moving from an imported product because of the price going up, the best available option on the shelf was Dipit. Okay, the best innovative and the best quality option on the shelf was Dipit. So that's gave us more market
actually,
share.
inflation kind of helped you because the market that was buying imported goods now shifted to Dipit. And once you have that market share, there's no reason for them to go back, especially dollar is still elevated, right?
Yeah.
So
I don't feel shy in saying yes, the COVID and the market helped us. Yes.
there are silver linings to everything. It's great between the import restrictions and the pandemic. If local brands that are vertically integrated are rising, more power to you and more power to the economy, right? But I'm sure you still have some sourcing challenges, ease of doing business challenges, business in Pakistan after all.
Business challenges, obviously, like any manufacturer, we have our own share of challenges, be it supply chain, be it the regulatory, be it all of these. But I won't say that these challenges stop us from achieving our vision, because that's something that's, these kind of challenges are more or less everywhere, not exactly to the extent that we are facing here, but yes, they're in every country. How we overcome them is, Dipit is the only sauce manufacturing company in Pakistan who's now exported to 35 countries around the world, 34 excluding Pakistan. So 34 countries we export around the world. So that's another leg where Dipit takes lead as compared to a lot of other manufacturers in Pakistan of sauces.
What would be a ratio, like how much of your revenue is from domestic market versus the international market? And what's your long-term vision for exports?
Look, our ratio for exports have been increasing year on year. And our long-term view is that we would like to be not just a local player in the sauces category. We want to be an international player in the sauces category also, and that's the aim that we are looking forward to and working on. And that's why you see Dipit starting from Japan, be it till going till the US, everywhere till Lebanon on that side, everywhere you will find Dipit in the mainstream stores, because we make the same product which is made internationally. So
isn't the competition really tough?
Yes, it is. But again, if you're making a good product and you're selling it at a fair price, there's always market for you. Yes, competition is tough in some places, like in Europe we find competition tough in some of the categories that we operate in. But then again, if you're giving value for money at a better quality, if not less, then yes, it make all the sense for the consumer, because inflation is there also. If you talk about UK, there's inflation is very high over there. If you talk about UAE, the inflation is very high over there. If you talk about US now, the inflation is very high over there also on food. So that gives us that kind of a gap in which their premium brands are operating and where we are operating, and the same phenomenon which was happening in Pakistan is now helping us out there.
So inflation, you're one of the few companies that inflation locally and globally has really driven your sales. But when you are talking about exports of food products, then meeting those standards is a different challenge because, in Pakistan, we don't have that many standards, but abroad, you need to meet every single one of them. So I have two questions. One, what is being exported? Is that the same quality that is being sold in Pakistan? And two, how do you meet those standards when at least your competitors in Pakistan would not?
Okay. So for your first question, we make exactly the same product and we fill it in all the packaging that goes out. So it's the same product which is going in Japan is being sold in Pakistan. This is kind of a Bible or kind of a value for us that we would not compromise on quality. And there's a reason for it. There's a scientific reason for it. Is that I don't want a consumer having a product in UAE and coming back to Pakistan and having that and find it different. So we want the consumer
Like
to
McDonald's
have
and everybody
like a lot of we want them to have the same product everywhere they go, so that they trust the brand and they value the brand in itself. That's for your first question. Now, second question is that our view on certification and and managing them is very different than a lot of other local competition think. So we think that certification make us better. They help us improve the bar, and that's why Dipit has a maximum certification that any manufacturer would have in Pakistan. If I tell you, we have a food safety certification, we have a British food safety, which is BRC, we have that certification. We even have a socially compliant certification by the US in terms of we are abiding the labor laws, because it's very important for one of our customers in US and in Pakistan also. So we have that certification also. We are a gluten-free company. We are a GMO-free company. We are, vegan-free, and a lot of these certifications we do. And the only reason it's not mandatory to do all of this, okay? Maybe FSSC would be okay for a lot of things, but the reason why we do is we want to, level up ourselves each year on year, and that's what help us improve year on year also.
It's a cost to each and every certification, and Dipit is not an extremely premium brand or a very expensive brand. It's a fairly affordable brand. How do you manage that?
Okay, so a lot of these certifications help us in terms of getting the export business outside of Pakistan also, because it's very rare to find a Pakistani company with all of these certifications. So that will help us in terms of the global stage. Also, that help us in terms of acquiring a customer who are still using the imported products in Pakistan. So it's kind of a business proposition also for us to be treated fairly at the same level as not a local competition but as international competition. For example, Heinz. So we would like to achieve the same certification which Heinz have across the world, and that's what our game, our roadmap is. So again, we just don't want to. We just don't compete with the local players, because we are exporting to a lot of market. We have to compete with them. So these are kind of a mandatory or required things for us also.
Right. So then there's the average consumer, the mother walking down the aisles picking up hot sauce. And then there's the companies, right? The fast food chains that have chili garlic sauce and ketchup. So I've seen Dipit over there too. So how do you preposition yourselves to them, and what's your share there? Like, which is your main business? Okay,
so we have a very good share in food solution in the HoReCa segment, and our proposition is the same. Whenever if I'm a restaurant, since we started as a restaurant also, so we know the restaurant the best. I think none of our competition know that thing better than us, because me and my wife has run a restaurant from the point of firing a fryer, cleaning a fryer, till serving the customer. So we have done all of that. So we know that thing very good, and that's why we cater to this channel better, because we are able to understand their pain point, what the food cost pressure is for them in today's where gas is very high, where electricity is very high. So we understand these kind of pressure. So we give them alternate solution to reduce their food costs and make their food affordable, and also to earn a decent margin on it, and yet still not compromising on the quality. So that's where we come and play our role in the food solution segment or the food service segment.
I'm sorry, I'm going on a tangent. If I remember correctly, even during the pandemic, what helped you was there were so many supply constraints that a lot of local franchises were not able to source the ketchups and the chili garlic sauce, and that kind of helped. So the pandemic and the inflation, two things that hurt everybody else, actually were the fuel or the rocket.
I can't name the customers, but anytime that in the pandemic, or still remember a few months back, there was a Red Sea kind of a blockade happening. And I still remember there was one or two customers whose stock was coming from somewhere in the West to Pakistan for their chains. And they asked us that, it's not coming and we would be out of stock for 3 months. And that's where Dipit came and pitched in, and we said we'll make sure that you're covered and you don't have to go out of your burgers or in your stores. So we do a lot. These opportunities help us. And to be honest, they help us. It's a two-way street. We help them, and maybe in the future their business stays with us. So it's a new business coming in.
So back when I last talked to you, your vision was in the next 10 years, every table globally should have. That's still your vision. How close are you to achieving it?
I don't know. I think I'm on the path, but it's too far. I think it will take another 10, 20 years. But that's still our vision. And every day with my management team, we repeat our vision, that our vision is to be on every dining table across the world. Let's see. It sounds interesting, but it's quite a big vision. Yeah, very ambitious.
Well, that would be great, right? To have a local Pakistani brand in every table worldwide. And generally, I think this is such a heartwarming success story. The inflation, the pandemic, the current blockades for imports, all of that helped you. They helped a local brand that is vertically integrated. So it's helping local businesses, it's helping local farmers grow new products. Yes, branch out of cotton, wheat, and sugar, and grow peppers whose name I cannot pronounce.
But these are something that as a country we should explore, because other than cotton and sugar and few other things that we have been doing for over a decade, maybe few decades, I think there's a lot of other things that still there's a lot of room that we can still produce as an agri country, and I think the government should come and play a part in it. Also, it's just not the responsibility of the government, and the manufacturers should get together and put their heads together and work on this also at the same time. So, but yes, in a personal capacity, we are working on that very aggressively with the farmers, very aggressively with progressive farmers, and bringing in, if there's need for technology or for consultants out from South America, where these chilies are grown, to Pakistan to help us on this mission.
That is great, and I really hope that you achieve your vision. So,
let's see.
Yeah.
Let's hope.
So, it was really good having you on the podcast, and I really hope that Dipit gets to achieve that goal, that there is a Pakistani brand on every table that is supporting local farmers and that is supporting labor laws, so that at least everybody is getting the minimum wage.
Yeah.
So, and as an export-oriented brand on top of that. So, best of luck to you for that.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.